Hey guys, how's it going? This right here is the Mi 10i, Xiaomi's newly launched device that is set to shake the under 25k segment in India. However, a lot of you guys have been asking me to compare it with the OnePlus Nord, and well, that's what this video is all about. This is Varun from Guiding Tech and you're watching my in-depth camera comparison of the Xiaomi Mi 10i against the OnePlus Nord. Let's get started. Okay, so let's kick things off in the daylight segment. In this first shot, you can see that the Nord has a very contrasty image, darkening the subjects quite a lot. The greens look good, but the tree bark is almost black, while the Mi 10i manages to retain the actual color profile. Moving on, you can see that the colors on the 10i are slightly saturated. Now it's nothing too extreme, and truth be told, I still like the shot better than what the Nord produced with its contrasty results. The same is highlighted here as well, where the 10i not only gets the colors right, but also has a more crisp image. The Nord struggles with the lighting and turns the reddish tan to orange, which isn't quite ideal. Now it's not a bad shot by any means, but the 10i just in comparison looks a bit better. Now the play around colors and contrast is once again highlighted here, with the Nord saturating the greens quite a lot, while the Mi 10i goes for a more realistic and true color tone. Both the shots look super crisp, but the photographer inside me prefers Xiaomi's shot just a tad bit more. Now the one advantage that the Nord has over the Mi 10i is in terms of the HDR performance. In this first shot, you can see just how far superior the Nord is against the Mi 10i. With the sun in the background, the walls and the lamp have still been highlighted well by the Nord, while the Xiaomi device struggles quite a lot. Even in this next shot, the greens of the leaves are much better highlighted by the OnePlus Nord, while the Mi 10i, which also manages to click a very good shot, is kinda overshadowed by the Nord's pure HDR performance. As always, this is my analysis of the camera on both the phones. Of course, your analysis and your opinion could vary from what I see, and that is why we provide a direct download link to all of the images straight from the phone for you to download them and check them out for yourself. So go ahead, download the images from the description box, analyze them and comment down below whether you agree with me or not. Anyway, let's move on with the video. Now moving on to ultra-wide performance, in the normal frame you can see that both the phones do a great job. The blue of the sky, however, is highlighted better with the Mi 10i, while the Nord has the HDR in its favor. Switching to the ultra-wide sensor, and you can see that the story is, well, pretty much the same. However, if you pixel peep, you'll see that the Mi 10i has a crisper and slightly sharper image, which is really good. Now the story is the same in this next frame too, where while both the cameras perform decently, the ultra-wide sensor is slightly sharper on the Mi 10i thanks to the over-processing by software. Now another thing that you can notice in this ultra-wide shot is that the 10i is now saturating the leaves quite a lot, something that wasn't there in the normal frame. Now moving on to human subjects, in this normal shot, both the phones perform very well. That said, if you notice my t-shirt, the Nord is the one that captures the blacks of it very well, while the 10i results in a bluish tone. Now this is mainly down to the lighting conditions, since it's rainy here and in these overcast conditions, most phones resort to a bluish tint, which makes the Nord's shot all the more better since it was able to compensate for the same. Turning on the portrait mode, the story remains mostly the same in colors, and even the edge detection on both the phones is pretty much the same. The Nord softens the face a bit, while the 10i adds a bit of reddishness, so I guess I'll let you guys decide which shot you prefer. Now moving on to rear video, let's just take a look.
Alright, so I'm recording 1080p 30fps footage from the OnePlus Nord, which is on my left, and the Mi 10i, which is on my right. Both the phones have their super stable mode turned on. OnePlus has it right up front, while with Xiaomi you have to go into the settings to enable image stabilization. But as you can see, I'm walking at a very normal pace, and the stabilization seems decent on both the devices as it is right now. In terms of picture quality, I think Xiaomi is doing a bit of saturation like it usually does, but other than that, there's not a lot of difference here. Just panning the camera around, and yeah, the stabilization on both the phones looks very good. Just gonna start running a bit so you get another idea of it. Yeah, I think the stabilization on Xiaomi's phone looks a tad bit better, but that also could be because it's in my right hand, which is slightly more stable. But yeah, overall they're both pretty good.
Next up, we have selfies, and the first thing that immediately strikes me is the level of over sharpening done by the Mi 10i. It's just way too much. Like, personally, I don't like it. Now, in terms of the colors and everything, they both are at par, but it's the over sharpening to this extent that spoils the Xiaomi shot for me. Now, turning on the portrait mode, and interestingly, they both struggle to detect my shoulder properly, which kind of makes you wonder why there is a secondary sensor on the Nord anyway. Now moving on to selfie videos, well, once again, let's take a look.
Alright, so we're recording 1080p 30fps footage from the OnePlus Nord, which is on my left, and the Mi 10i, which is on my right. Well done, I just need to adjust my mask. Sorry, apologies for that. And yeah, always carry a mask and always wear it properly. Now let's move on to the footage part, and as you can see right here, the OnePlus Nord is struggling to keep the HDR and the face on. Like now, you can see, if I move a bit away from the camera, you can see OnePlus is doing a decent job now, but yeah, it's still struggling. There's a lot of flicker happening around, at least right now. I feel maybe this might be corrected in the post-processing, I'm not sure about it, but as of now, the Mi 10i is doing a slightly better job. If I just do a tap to focus on the background now, this is the OnePlus Nord and this is the Mi 10i. Yeah, not that great. Anyway, in terms of the overall footage, both the footages look pretty sharp. Let's not forget that the OnePlus Nord allows you to shoot at a higher resolution as well. And in terms of stabilization, well, there's no specific stabilization format here present, but I mean, they both look fine. No issues as such.
Next up, we have low light, and the Mi 10i shows that it's far better than the Nord, even without the dedicated night mode turned on. In this first shot only, you can see that the Nord struggles with the wooden board on the back, and there is a lot of noise at the top. In comparison, the 10i shoots a much crisper shot, balances the LEDs well, and even has a very minimal to zero noise level. Turning on the night mode brings both the phones to a more even level. However, one glance at the wooden board and the top leaves, and you can see that the Mi 10i is still winning this round. In this next shot, you can see that the Nord, in its attempt to handle the neon signages, actually darkens up the whole image. This is quite weird, to be honest, considering that the Nord actually had the better HDR performance. By contrast, just look at the shot taken by the Mi 10i. It pretty much highlights every element in the frame and looks very good. Turn the night mode on, and while the Nord does a slightly better job here than before, the frame is still quite dark as compared to the 10i. Now it goes without saying that the 10i is a much better low light performer, especially against the OnePlus Nord. Alright, so which phone is the winner? Well, I mean, it goes without saying, if you've seen all the shots, apart from the selfie game, the Mi 10i is clearly the winner here. And even in those selfies that I'm talking about, it's just the level of over sharpening that really spoils the game for Xiaomi in this context. For what you're paying for the device, the Mi 10i is an excellent device. And okay, here's the thing. I genuinely do not really buy this concept of putting 108 megapixel sensors on your phone because, I mean, who's actually clicking in 108 megapixel, right? And while it uses 9 and 1 pixel binning, I don't really see a lot of users actually pixel peeping into their images like we do here in our camera comparisons to, well, notice a difference. But when you compare it with the OnePlus Nord, or even as a general user, I'll be very frank, this is the best camera performance that I've seen by a Xiaomi device in a very long time. And see, there's a story about it. With the Mi 10 and the Mi 10T Pro, they were very good devices, but they were going against one of the best devices that OnePlus had to offer. And those are flagship range devices. And in that context, the overall game was still in OnePlus's favor. However, in this case, the Mi 10i is priced lower than the OnePlus Nord and has a far superior camera game here. I mean, it's not a full comparison that I'm talking about, I'm just talking about the camera here. But even on a full comparison note, I think the Mi 10i is easily a better pick over the OnePlus Nord. Obviously, Ashish will be doing a thorough comparison of both the devices on the Hindi channel, so you can check that out as well. But as far as the cameras are concerned, the 10i beats the OnePlus Nord easily, like easy victory for the Mi 10i. Now, like I said, all of our camera comparisons and reviews are unbiased, which is why we provide a direct download link to all the camera samples straight from the phone that are unfiltered or unmodified in any way whatsoever. Go ahead and download them and analyze and, well, Shout off in the comments below whether you agree with us or not. Also, if you like this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more awesome tech content. Till then, this is Varun from Guiding Tech, and I'll see you in the next one.